my name is Tom Sawyer. I don't want to be no doctor or no lawyer. Fishing by the river, that's the only place to be. I want to be free sitting under a tree, that's me. These are the stories of Tom Sawyer. Me and Unc Finn just playing by the river, chasing that steamboat teacher, let me be. I want to be free sitting under a tree. That's me!
Thank you, Jim. A few more ought to be enough.
Anything you say. How's Tom this morning?
Just fine.
I'm surprised Miss Polly's letting him sleep so late this morning after all the trouble he caused by running away.
Mother's so happy to have him back she's forgiven him. She thought she'd never see him again. We all thought he was drowned just like everybody else did.
I hear he and his friends spent 4 days on Jackson Island.
Yes, Tom said they were pretending to be pirates of all things. Thank you. That'll do for now. See you later, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Runs off fleeing with his friends for 4 days and ends up a hero. Ain't nobody but Tom Sawyer could have thought of coming back to his own funeral.
Hey, Tom, you better wake up. We're gonna be late for school, you know. Do whatever you like, but I'm going downstairs to breakfast.
Wish I was back there right now instead of here.
You wish you were back where? You mean on Jackson Island?
That's right, Sid. On the island I could sleep as late as I wanted, and there was no little brother telling me when to get up.
But you weren't going to school there, Tom.
Exactly.
You already been out of school for about 4 days now.
That's right, 4 wonderful days.
What about Mr. Dobbins?
What's he got to do with it?
What do you think he'll do to you?
Huh?
Last time you played hooky, he caned you pretty good. And that was just for missing 1 day of school. What do you think he'll give you for missing 4?
Aw, Sid, just leave me be.
Good morning, Annie.
Morning, Sid. Tom up yet?
Yes, Aunt Polly, he's awake.
If he doesn't hurry, he'll miss breakfast. Now come and sit down, Sid.
Don't you just know that Tom will have a wonderful time at school today?
Why's that?
Well, you know how he loves to tell stories, and today all the other kids will listen to every word he says.
What do you mean, dear?
All of his friends at school thought that Tom and the other boys had drowned. Everyone did. They were all convinced they would never see him again. Now that he's returned, it's only natural for him to be seen as a hero in the eyes of the other boys and girls.
Why, yes, I suppose you're right, come to think of it.
The children will want to know every detail of his adventure on Jackson Island with Huck and Ben.
Making a hero out of him for doing something that was wrong don't sit right with me.
I don't suppose there's much we can do about it, Mother. After all, everybody in St. Petersburg was still talking about those 3 boys attending their own funeral.
What's everybody talking about me like that?
Well, I pray to the good Lord above that no one ever has cause to talk about you for doing something as wrong-headed and foolhardy as your brother Tom did. And I would certainly hope that a good boy like you would never think of doing anything like that.
Don't worry, I don't reckon I ever will, Aunt Polly.
Morning, Ben. Morning, Mr. Rogers.
Nice morning,
Hi,
ain't it?
Mr. Rogers.
Well, now, isn't this nice? Don't tell me you fellas are all waiting for Ben.
That's right, Mr. Rogers. We want to be the first to hear about everything that happened on Jackson Island.
Yes, I don't blame you. Well, son, looks like you got some talking to do.
Bet you had a lot of fun.
Sure did.
It's quite a story, all right. Ben, Tom, and Huck explored every inch of Jackson Island. And then during the storm, they came close to getting hit by a bolt of lightning.
Golly, Ben, a bolt of lightning?
I think you boys had best be on your way now. You don't want to be late for school, do you?
Right, come on, fellas.
Bye. Have a good time.
Did you see any real pirates?
Mr. Rogers,
Yes,
isn't it wonderful having your son back again?
it's like a miracle. I thought he was gone, that I'd never see him again. I should be angry with him, I suppose, after him worrying me like that. But it's turned out that going off on his own was all for the best. Having to take care of those other two boys when they were frightened and homesick has changed him somehow, made him less of a boy and more of a man. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Anybody'd be proud to have a son like that.
Uh-huh.
Bye, Caesar.
Well, what I heard is they slept in a cave, but only when it was raining.
Scared? Of course not. We were pirates, weren't we? And pirates ain't scared of nothing.
Morning.
It was something, Amy. And then the lightning almost got us.
Wow. How close
Well,
was
I'll
it,
put it to
Tom?
you this way, Amy. If it had struck any closer, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now.
Weren't you just frightened half to death? I know that I would have been.
Me scared? Nah.
Golly. I'll tell you one thing, Tom. If I would have been there, I would have been crying all night.
But I would have been there with you, so you wouldn't have been scared of nothing. Plus, you'd have known I was there to take care of you. Hi, Becky.
Hiya, Becky. I've just been hearing about Tom's adventure on Jackson Island. Go on, Tom. Tell Becky what you told me.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
As far as I'm concerned, it would just be a waste of time.
Excuse me?
You want to have lunch together today?
No, thank you. I wonder what's wrong with her. Well, go on. Tell me the rest of it, Tom.
Huh? Oh, yeah, let's see. Where was I?
The big thunderstorm when the
Hey, there's Huck. How are you this morning?
Okay, I suppose. Got a lot of work to do, though.
Must not have heard you right. Did you say work?
That treehouse of mine got real tore up in the storm. Gonna take a lot of work to fix her up.
Be happy to help you.
Thanks. Go a lot faster that way.
I'll meet you over there soon as school lets out.
Oh, yeah, you and Ben are back in school again, ain't you? He passed by here a little while ago.
Wonder why he went so early.
Wasn't just Ben, there was a whole bunch of kids with him, and they were carrying on kind of strange.
Don't you understand, Huck? All three of us are heroes.
Can't understand why. There ain't nothing special about going fishing for 4 days, is there?
It's not how long we was gone or what we was doing, but because we came back for our own funeral when everybody thought we were dead. Nobody's ever done that before.
They must need heroes awful bad, I guess.
Tom, you better hurry. We're gonna be late.
Well, I'll be seeing you later, Huck.
Okay.
Run! Come on!
Funny. Tom says he loves Becky Thatcher, now he's holding hands with Amy Lawrence.
Well, of course I knew it was dangerous. That's what made it so much fun. Guess I'm just the kind of fella that don't see no point to doing anything that ain't got plenty of danger to go with it. 'Cause facing danger is about the only thing that makes life interesting. Now the storm took us by surprise. We were freezing cold and drenched to the skin. It was just terrible.
What'd you do then?
Took care of Tom. He was scared half to death. All he wanted to do was go home.
You mean he was crying?
Yep.
Golly. Well, what do you know about that?
But Huck's the one that really surprised me on account of my figuring he was used to sleeping out in the open, but I could see that he was just as scared as Tom was, even though he was trying awful hard not to show it.
Good thing you were there to keep up their courage, Ben. Tom Sawyer crying like a baby?
I don't believe it. Yep, it's
What
true.
about you, Ben? Weren't you homesick? Even a little?
Huh? Suppose it's natural for a body to get homesick after a while, but to leave after being there only a couple days just would have been cowardly. When we heard the ferry boat cannon, we knew somebody'd drowned and they was looking for the body. And then all of a sudden it came to me. I knew what they were looking for. They were looking for the bodies of none other than Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, and me, Ben Rogers. That's when I came up with the idea of coming back and showing up at our own funeral.
Hi, Becky. How you doing?
Fine, Charlie. Thank you.
I guaranteed Tom and Huck it'd work, and it did.
Did it ever? The whole town's still talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We shall always remember their winning ways, their rare promise, their sweet and generous natures, their graceful innocence, and their spirited enjoyment of life itself. Lord, May they dwell happily in a better world than this, in the glorious kingdom of heaven above.
Oh, dear.
Tom, you're back.
Is it really you, son?
I gotta admit, it's the best idea I ever had.
That's the best idea I ever.
Excuse me, Mr. Dobbins?
Yes, Mr. Stevenson. What is it?
Well, are Tom Sawyer and Ben Rogers attending school today?
Ben Rogers is already here. As for Tom Sawyer, I don't know if he's coming or not.
I can't recall a more astonishing event than the appearance of those three boys at the church. Quite amazing, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. But they were also absent from school for 4 days, which I cannot condone, and for that they shall be severely punished. You can certainly be sure of that.
But,
You mustn't run in the building, Thomas. It's not allowed. Do you hear me? Walk!
Yes.
Slowly! Slower!
Hey, what you doing?
I was going to, but, you know, well... Oh, look, there's Tom and Amy.
And Tina came over.
Wonder what Becky's
help
doing.
us.
And then she ate
There's
them.
Tom.
Becky's
I get him
wondering,
on my
too.
team.
I wonder what
Listen to
every
those two.
saw
They
on
never stop
her.
gossiping.
She thinks she's so
Hi, Tom. Good to see you.
Hey, morning, everyone. Welcome back, Tom. Back from the dead.
Yeah. When I saw you at the funeral, I thought you were a ghost.
Well, sure, everybody did. Ben and Huck thought my plan wouldn't work, but...
Good morning, Mr. Dobbins.
Tom.
Listen, you don't have to bother yourself telling everybody what happened on Jackson Island, because I already told them.
You did? Exactly the way it happened?
Exactly, Tom.
Well, that's okay.
Before we start today's lesson, I have an unpleasant duty to perform. For 4 days, 2 boys were absent. Benjamin Rogers and Tom Sawyer. Stand up. You know the rules here, and you chose to disregard them. But worst of all is that such a flagrant offense should result in praise and adulation. Should we praise those responsible for causing their families and friends so much suffering and heartaches? No. They must face the consequences of their wrongdoing. The consequences in this case shall be 20 lashes apiece.
What? That's an awful lot.
Nonsense! You deserve 50. Which one of you shall be first?
Ben, wanna go first?
Don't reckon I do.
On second thought, 20 lashes apiece is too harsh a punishment. One of you must have been the leader of the group on Jackson Island. And no doubt he's the one responsible for mocking the church and the good citizens of this town. One of you boys thought up the infamous scheme of attending your own funeral. That boy should receive the 20 lashes, the other only 10.
Huh?
Which one was it, Ben or Tom? 20 for one, 10 for the other.
Tom, we need to talk.
Someone must know. What about you, Amy? I saw you holding hands with Tom this morning. You're one of his best friends. So, I'm sure that he would have informed you which boy was the ringleader. You must know, Amy. Now tell me.
I don't remember that part.
How dare you lie to me?
I'm not lying, I just can't remember.
I'm waiting for your answer.
But I already told you, Tom never said who it was. Honest, he didn't.
Stop crying and answer me.
But I don't know.
Amy, tell me.
Mr. Dobbins, you have no cause to pick on Amy like that.
So, Tom, your guilty conscience has betrayed you. Come forward, Tom Sawyer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like getting caned any more than the next feller, especially by Mr. Dobbins. He may be small and skinny, but he can make it hurt plenty when he wants to. But it was worth it, 'cause now everyone thinks I'm the best thing to come along since strawberry jam. except for Becky Thatcher, darn it. Once the raft disappeared in the storm, only way to get to shore was to swim. Mile or so, I guess. Not too much of a challenge for a swimmer as strong as I am.
Golly, nobody else could have done it, and that's a fact.
To tell you the truth, I almost turned back because the storm had riled the river up so much and the current was so strong I didn't think I was going to make it.
Sure was brave of you, Tom.
Well, what happened then?
Well, I knew I had to catch the last ferry boat. But the current had carried me so far downriver, I didn't know if I could get there in time.
Go on, Tom. What'd you do then?
I ran faster than I ever have in my whole life because I just had to catch that ferry boat. I had about 2 minutes to get there, and it was almost a mile away.
But nobody can run that fast.
I had to get there before it left, or my plan wouldn't work. See? Hey!
Oh, Becky. Afternoon.
Why is she talking to him?
Okay?
All right, Charlie, tell you what. I'll wait for you at the bench while you run back and get it.
All right, I'll be right there.
Tom? Hey, Tom, tell us what happened next.
Huh? Well, you see, that was the night after the storm, and I knew the current would be a lot stronger. But I knew I'd make it anyhow.
We heard that part already. What happened after you got to the ferry landing, Tom?
When I got there, I saw that the crew of the ferry boat was standing guard just in case anyone like me was trying to sneak on without paying the fare. But that didn't stop me. No, sir. You see, the ferry's got a little boat tied to her stern, like a lifeboat, you know? And that's how I got a free ride back to St. Pete.
Oh, hi there, Charlie. Nice afternoon, ain't it?
You know, you would have been as big a hero as Tom is right now. Except now they all know that you lied to them. You shouldn't have done that, Ben. It's about a man named William Tell, who lived in a country called Switzerland, and he could shoot a bow and arrow better than anybody. Not the kind Injuns use, but a crossbow, like that one over there. William had a fine young son. As they were walking along one day, the evil sheriff rode by. He made William put an apple on the boy's head. No point in going on if he ain't gonna listen.
I was so listening. A man named William had a wonderful bow and he tied it around an apple. Well, go on.
Yep, just like I thought. I'm not surprised. I should have known that the only one you want to listen to is Tom.
Don't be silly.
Don't bother denying it. I know it's the truth.
Ben! Listen, all the kids from the lower grades want you to tell them what happened to us on Jackson Island.
They want me to tell them?
You bet they do.
I really am sorry about what I said this morning, Tom. My mouth just sort of ran away with me, I reckon.
What'd you say?
Well, for instance, I said when we were on Jackson Island, it was you and Huck who were scared, not me. And that you were the one crying on account of being so homesick, and that I was the one that came up with the idea of showing up at our own funeral. Whatever you do to me, I got it coming, Tom. I don't blame you for being mad at me, 'cause you got every right.
I'm not mad, Ben. Everyone tells a fib now and then, right?
Sure enough.
Don't worry, Ben, I forgive you.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Those kids are waiting. Don't disappoint them.
You bet I won't.
And you better tell the truth this time.
Ew! Gosh, I wish you hadn't have done that, Tom.
It couldn't hurt that bad, Ben.
Very funny. Oh, boy.
Tom, Becky's waiting for you outside on the bench.
Charlie, that's a downright lie.
I wish it was, but it's not.
You swear you're really telling me the truth?
Go take a look for yourself if you don't believe me.
Hey, thanks, Charlie.
Good luck. He ain't no hero if you ask me. When Mr. Dobbins sees this, Tom will get another 20 lashes. Serves him right. If you're looking for Tom, he's outside.
Well, I'm not.
Suit yourself, but he was looking for you. At least I thought it was you. But I suppose it could have been Amy Lawrence, them being such good friends and all.
I have no interest in Tom Sawyer or his friends, so talking about him's a waste of time.
Yep. Must have been looking for Amy.
What?
Don't see her. Heh, Charlie's gonna get it.
Destruction of school property is absolutely inexcusable.
But, sir, I swear it wasn't me.
I've had enough of your lies, Tom Sawyer. Stand up. I find it difficult to understand why you come to school at all.
Honest, Mr. Dobbins, I don't know how that
Not another word, young man. Evidently, the punishment you received this morning wasn't enough to convince you that your irresponsible and childish pranks will not be tolerated in this classroom. The punishment, therefore, will now be doubled. You must learn the error of your ways, Tom Sawyer, and learn it you shall.
Hurry up, Tom. You're walking slower than a turtle's grandpa. It's getting late and there's a lot of work to do.
Sorry, Huck. I'd like to help you, honest I would, but I just can't today.
How come?
On account of my rear end so sore I can't hardly move, that's how come. I can't even get up there.
For somebody who's as good at making up excuses as you are, that's the dumbest one I ever heard.
I ain't fibbing to you, Huck. My teacher caned me good today. If you think I'm making an excuse to get out of work, come take a look.
Ooh-wee.
See what I mean?
You must have done something awful bad to deserve that.
Well, only partly, I reckon.
What do you mean, Tom?
I got whooped twice. 20 strokes for playing hooky for so long.
What then?
20 more for spilling ink on a textbook, Huck. But I didn't do it.
Well, there ain't no justice.
I knew that Tom was innocent and I should have said so. Even if I was mad at him, I'll never forgive myself, never. I like him an awful lot. And I think it's about time I told him.